Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Ahmed Lomoyar. On this video, I am going to configure the IBM IIB API. So this section. So on a first and second video, we create our basic web page. You could watch our web page. So on also we configure cross-origin resource sharing, like one domain could talk to a different domain. Like our web page could able to talk to our API app. So right now there's a communication is happening. What we do on this video, we're gonna configure our IBM API. So whatever data is come right here, we're gonna bring some we will do some manipulation on data. Let's say we will save it to MySQL, and also we're gonna invoke the microservices. So before we configure that, because since we're using the HTTP as a type of web services, I want to give you overall description what is web service. So I brought you a key point right here. What is a web service? First, web service is a method, like a type of method that communicate between two devices over the internet. So that's the web service. Let's say this is the web page. So if you this is my web page. If I'm offering a service over the internet, that could be a web service. Like this service has a rule, like let's go back to. So a web service is a software system designed to support machine-to-machine interaction over the internet, like device interaction over the internet. It provides a standardized way for an application to communicate with each other regardless of platform they are running. Like I could use a Windows, Apple, or Linux, any of those I could use it. So the key is a platform. It had to be platform independent, and they can operate across different operating system or programming language. Service availability, they provide functionality over the internet. That's like they provide a functionality over the internet. What does my web page provide? If you like somebody want a pizza, I provide a service. You could pay and do and take order, all the kind of service coming from a web service. This is the web service. You just see it. Just we working on it. That was a good example. It's a communication between application. It's a communication between application. If you come up, you see this application IBM and my web service talk to each other, like each application talking to each other, and there is a rule. If let's go back how they talk to each other. So a communication between application communicate through web service by sending requests and receiving a response. The interaction is involved. Like if you pay attention on my web page, you could click on that. Once you click, you will come on this page. You send this request, you will receive back response. You send the request and you will receive a response like the payment is successfully added. You will receive your delivery in 1 hour. You will receive that kind of message. So it has a request and response. The request, we call them an input. The data sent to the service. The output is response. The data returned from the service. So input, the data sent to service. The output, the data received from a service. You call them output, either response, or input, either request. So we will describe the data format. The format of data exchange. Usually it uses a JSON or XML. There's different data, blob, MRM, and different type of data you could use it. But mostly on a web service, you will most likely see one of these two languages, JSON or XML or blob. And you will see other language too, but mostly those format. So the rule, you have to have a endpoint to call the web service. To call the web service, the application need to know the endpoint, which the URL where the service can be accessed. Let's say if you want to come right here and you click right here, they give you another endpoint. You see each time they put you on a different endpoint. This is the endpoint they call them. They put a query right here. and give the price and everything right here. So that's why we take the value from right here. You see, each time that has an endpoint. So if you want to talk to a web service, you must know the endpoint. So the rule of web service, there's a terminology they use it. Sometimes they call them service provider or server, application that provides service. So what it means like that, once it provides a service, it is a service provider. Like the IBM right now we create, this IBM right now we create as a service provider, but we invoke a microservices which is located on different platform. So this is the consumer. So the service provider is the application that provides a service, like whatever provider, and a service consumer, the application using the service. Let's say I have a Microsoft too, microservice as well. You see I have a microservice. At the end we are gonna completely configure the microservices. We have a microservice, but we not wanna use all the service. Some of the service we will invoke it from right here. So that's why they call them consumer. So service provider, service consumer, just know it. Either they call him service provider, the one who's providing the service completely, the one IBM app I show you, and service consumer, the one like we will invoke, like all the WSDL and stuff would be with them. We just invoke it, we just use it. And on the rule on a web service, we have a service definition outlined. So what is, how to interact with it, what is the web service request response, and the endpoint, everything is on a service definition. You will see the service definition most likely on a WSDL as well, clear, because it has a request response, a endpoint, and all the kind of stuff in it. So once again, web service is a platform independent. It is a service that provide over the internet, has a service provider, service consumer, and must have a endpoint. Let's say this is a one type of endpoint drawing, and the application communicate through web service by sending requests and receiving a response, like request and response. Interaction using standard format like a JSON and those stuff. The good thing is like type of the service. We have web service are broadly categorized in two types: SOAP and REST. We will know what is SOAP and REST. On that one, right now we will create the REST, but I will also explain what is SOAP. Each has a distinct characteristic and use cases. The SOAP is a simple object access protocol. It's no longer it's called them, but this is a simple object access protocol. That stands for the Simple Object Access Protocol. The SOAP is a protocol that's strict, rule, and standard. And as a message format, the SOAP is a XML-based message format. And on a SOAP, the service description, they're using WSDL. WSDL Web Service Description Language. This is based on XML. Define the service, include the method and endpoint. On a WSDL, it defines everything. It defines the method, the endpoint, and all the operation and everything right here. So on a SOAP, it use the WSDL. WSDL stands for Web Service Descripting Language. Basically, WSDL is an XML-based message. It describes the web service. Is that the transport protocol can be used on a SOAP is a HTTP, SMTP, like small message transfer protocol, and TCP and other. So it's a good security on that. Build on security feature like WS security, WSDL security. They would be like on a SOAP. But it does not mean REST don't have it, but just right here is built-in security has it on a SOAP, which is WS security, WSDL security, is reliability, ensure the reliability with the error handling and fault tolerance. On a WSDL, because SOAP using WSDL, on a WSDL everything is defined. A request, response, a exception, fault, and everything's defined right here. Like there's no option we do not want to accept it. Fall is still optional. Request to response bodies, like some of them is not optional, but fall is optional. Advantage of SOAP is a strong standard and specification, and has a good security and reliability. The disadvantage is too much like information, verbose, so it's a complex to the XML. It's just because of too much information add, and has a strict rule to follow. Just this is the slower performance compared to REST. It's a little bit slow, but it's not too slow. A little bit slow compared to REST. So REST, because our web server is based on the REST. REST stands for representational state transfer. Representation state transfer basically it means working with the data, state transfer data, like representation state transfer. So the representation state transfer is like a communication occur over the HTTP protocol, which is stateless, unlike like a traditional communication where the server stores the session information. So REST does not maintain any session state on a server. Instead, like a client, a web browser sends all the necessary detail to the server for the service request. So when you invoke a URL like a www whatever, the server has enough information to serve the request resources without storing any session detail. State transfer, when you open the web page using URL to view the resources. Resource would be a data on anything, image, file, those one on the server. The servers provide a representation of what the resource to be like a server provide the representation of that resource to the client. The representation, like how the image is displayed, change that application, like all the like a file, those how the file should be displayed. So state for both the server and the client. However, the constant resource state said like the image would be remain exchanged. So the process of transferring the resource state to a client through the representation, what the rest is all about. So the architecture and architecture style is it is architectural style but not protocol. Just make sure you know is architectural style, not protocol. Message format typically is a JSON and could be XML and different type, plain text, even a custom data format you could do that. Service description, no formal description language like a WSDL, but there is a what do you call Swagger file. We will work with it and kind of similar. It is on a JSON, but does not require. But IBM 12 they have it. You could even validate your JSON format. So the transportation protocol primarily use the HTTP. Securities rely on HTTPS security, HTTP security, and other underlying protocol. Scalability, easy scalable due to the statelessness. The advantage lightweight and fast, easy to use and understand, better performance by web-based application. Disadvantage is less standardized compared to SOAP. Some bank wanna use SOAP because of the WSDL security and WS security, and is for that reason SOAP using. That's why it's a less standardized compared to SOAP. Security and reliability need to be managed at the application level. So let me give you a quick summary. So you cannot compare one to another one, but he has advantage and disadvantage. If you want to use SOAP, there would be a WSDL XML format or SOAP format message if you want to use it. And if you're using a protocol with a strict LUR and XML messaging, you need to use the SOAP. If you're using a WSDL, you need to use the SOAP. If offer built-in security, you could use the SOAP. REST web server uses the architecture side with a standard HTTP method. Typically use JSON for the data exchange, but most likely you will use a JSON on the HTTP but you could use all different type of language right here on the rest. On a SOAP you only use the XML. So it's a lightweight, fast and easy to understand, easy to configure, and that's why. So that was a quick information. It's not a quick information, but that was enough information to know about web service. So let's focus to configure our IBM app right now. So we're gonna send a request and capture it, and you will see it how should we will manage it. Let's check it work. Just click I do not check, and what I will give, I will provide him Mayor and last name Mayor with this address Richmond Hall, and give them any dummy number and 1 2 3. Okay, sent. Okay, we receive it. It worked fine. So let's switch. Now we receive data as a blob. We will send this to also to the label, and plus we will gonna clean up data as a JSON. Let's get in, and we do not need the extra code. And right here also I will use the log4j, so you will familiar how to log your file. Just one thing I want to re-emphasize. So the reason we must know like how application talk to each other, we must configure the format, pick the language, what language we should talk. We cannot do that like you configure XML right here and JSON right here and let them talk by themselves. They're not gonna happen later. We must configure the language and let this developer know we pick that kind of language with this type of format. They will use it right here. Like right here using a blob, and I tell them we will send you a blob. It's up to you, you could configure it. So that's why the request come as a blob, we will fix it. But right here we tell them with that kind of language we use, we want that service back from you, like application talking to each other. This application to talk to this one, that one gonna talk to this one, and this is talking to the different type of service. So just like make sure you know application talking to each other when it happen. But our main job is a middle layer. Because I will leave this one as a basic. What I will do, IBM app, I will fully develop it and plus a microservice. This two job as a middle layer, we will configure it. This two we will focus more on it. If there was a basic code right here, that's okay, but right here is not acceptable. IBM and microservices. So what I will do first time, let me declare few variable. I'm sure you guys know how to declare a variable on IBM. First I want to do log ID. What I will use UUID character. Just type, you see, we will use this one. What this does, this sign a long big number as a character to my this log. So that way I'm gonna in the future I'm gonna log my data, because first time they will sign an ID right here. With this one we're gonna link all the data with this one. Each transaction with has their unique, because each time it create a new unique ID, like a UUID. If you're familiar with UUID on a JavaScript, on a Java UUID and as a random, I will show you over there how to use it. But right now let's declare one more for the data, log data. You could call them a log data or anything that makes sense for you. Log data, because we're gonna, but right now we will initialize it as empty, nothing in it. Just also focus right here too, because right here some information came, we're gonna take it from right here. We're gonna capture the blob, so then we'll do that. Let's declare one more as a JSON, one more variable, and I call them a JSON blob something, because at the end I want to turn it as a JSON. What I will do, I wanna, because it's a blob, and I wanna get all the data as a blob from it. That will come from input.blob. This blob referred to that one. Now we're gonna move to the second one, because right now we gave a reference. We gave to camera here, to this port, then come give a reference to that one. Now we give a reference to this location, we give a reference to this location. If you type again blob, now we will capture, let's clean this one, we will get all the data and put it right here, JSON blob, all the blob is right here, whatever this is would come right here. And let's declare one more variable, and this time we're gonna cast it as a character, so that will turn as a character. Our blob would be character, so we will name it JSON string. Let me name it JSON, because the hen we will turn it as a JSON string. You could call them blob string, that makes sense. Right now we want to cast it. There's a function they call them cast. This one, what it does, like you want to turn one type of format to another type of format. Let's say there's a character, you want to turn it to a blob, you could do that. Let's say there's a character, you want to turn it to a integer, you could do that with this function. What I will do that, this is a blob, I want to turn it to a character. So that's why this is a character, I want to turn this data as a character. So JSON blob, then we say as, and whatever you say right here, you say integer, you will come integer. If you say character, will character, because we're using character, that's why. Then we will use a CCSID, and plus we will use the code character set input dot property dot each time when you give a dot, they give a reference, because separate it like code character set. So and semicolon. So basically this two we give in CCID and code character set, which is metadata. Just like this is like a property within property that indicate the character set is encoding CCSID of the message. So that's why, like if you familiar with the coding, there is a UFT, if I'm not UFT8. What it mean, like there's different type of sample. Like let's say there would be a sample of hyphen and different one. Like when I say CCID and code character set ID would allow all type of sample, those things. So that's coming as a metadata, so that's why we using it. So would not cause any exception. That's why basically, let's say even a Chinese language would come right here, they will even accept it. I'm sure would accept it. That would be included on this code character set. And one, like if it's something similar, like let's say you want to declare some variable, let's declare, because if you're familiar, we want to declare a few variable. Let's go back to our web page. You see how many variable data is coming? Pizza name, price, name, last name, address. We declare all of them. And the best practice says, if you have a too many variable, you don't need to declare it each time like this, like keep doing a lot. You could declare all of them on a one line if it's same character type. Let's say I want to declare a name, last name. If you keep doing that, like a name, we don't want to initialize it. Name and last name, and keep doing that. It's taking even much spaces, and it does not look nicer. But we do, all you do that. If it's similar, you say last name. Keep doing that. Add everything. Like there's a pizza name, I will say pizza name, and comma. You will give them a pizza name, remove the space, and price, because price is let's put it and we will check it, because a blob consider character, so that's why we take him as a blob. Name and last name we already said it. Address, and let me add everything and come back. So we declare all of them. You see, you could do this way. You don't need to do money, because it's a big best practice. Just remember, on a best practices, you don't need to use a lot of function, because the function make it slow. If there is a way you could avoid that one, you could avoid it. But if there's no way to use it, that is fine, you could use the function. But do not use too many function on the IBM IIB, because that will make it a little bit slow. The more you could avoid it. But if there's no way to not use it, but that is fine, you could use it. Let me save that one. Each time save it. If there's any and complete that one, I want to resend the request, because what I want to show you something. I want to show you that my data when it's turned to character, and you will see there's an equal sign and a hand sign. That's why I will show you something. Let's send the request again, and the request come. I'm gonna get in and turn it as a character. If you come right here, you see what I'm trying to tell you. You see there's an equal sign, plus sign, and what do you call the sign? Like each time they're fixing thing for me. Equal sign, and this is a and sign, and equal sign. We will find a position of an equal sign, because each time if you check the name, then then the value of name, and last name, then the value of last name, and address, the value of what it mean, like key value pair. It work like a key value pair, but it's separated with a equal sign and the value, and the next value would come after end. So what we will do, we will find the equal sign position, and also we will find the and position. Then after equal sign position, we will take this one as a key, and this part we will take them as a value. Let's copy that one and place it right here, so you will see it. Let's put it like that. So it's a big, let's leave it like that. So what I mean by that, we're gonna work with it, and you will know it. So let's declare two more variable, because one is for the equal position and second is for this position. Each time we will find on what position is that. For example, is 1, 2, 3, 4, then this is on 5th position. They will put a 5th on an equal position, and plus this one as well. Each time they will do that. That way we will separate it, we will clean up. So let's declare two variable. I will say declare what I will call them position of equal and position of ampersand. Position of ampersand. Hopefully I don't do the spelling mistake. Then I make it as integer, because I want to assign a position. That would be 1, 2 to 7 or 8, 10, whatever. And also I want to say position of equal sign. So this two would work. I'm gonna assign position of equal sign right here, and ampersand, the ampersand we send right here, we will sign it right here. I mean the position we want to assign. So what we do right now, first we want to check if this is not empty. We're gonna use the while loop. The reason we're using the while loop, because each time we want to find a position of equal and ampersand and remove that part and make it a key value and pair, because I already explained to you. Let's use the while loop and check if it's not empty. I will use while, and just I will check the length of my JSON string that we get it. If it's bigger than 0, that means it's not empty. If it's less than 0, it become empty. Or we will say if it's not null. We will check, we will try it either with equal, or if it's not null, we will see it, we will debug and see. But right now let's put it like that. If it's more than a 0, that means this is not empty. So if it's not empty, what to do? So we're gonna use the function there called in position. So what I will do, I'm gonna assign the position of ampersand. Say position of ampersand. I will set the position of ampersand to the, I will use the function that called in position. You see this function position. What this do, they will look in a string, whatever string position you want, they will return the as the number, as the index of that. So First is the search bar, search resources. Like let's say I want to find a ampersand, position of ampersand, and use the n keyword. N keyword, we're looking on this string, whatever string is. This is the complete string. We want to look it in this one. So what I'm telling to him, find a position of ampersand and my this string. The first one they find it, they will sign it, because there is a too many. They're not gonna look to each one. What they will do, they look the first one. The first one they find it right here, because then they will sign it right here, the position. So let's say, suppose this one 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 17 18 19 20 21, like 224 I believe. They will sign 24 right here. And also we will do it for equal sign. If I find a position of that, what to do? So let's use the key value pair. Let me declare the one more variable and call them key value pair or something. Key value substring. Because I'm using a substring, I wanna use it because substring gonna remove that much string that I want it. So I'm gonna let me not to sign it direct and make it as a character. When I make it as a character, now I want to assign a value to that one. Say set a key value string. What I want to assign, I use the substring. What substring? I have video. If you want to know about all those function, position, substring, you could go and watch the video. But right here, what we do, the first one is resource, which is this resource. We're looking on that resource because there's a different way you could use it. I will say from 1 for we're gonna use it till position of my ampersand. Whatever position we found, whatever number we want it till that. Then -1. You will see it on the debug what that mean. So what they do does, they will go from position of 1 until this position. They will take all the data, sign it to because this is the key and value. The name is a key and this is the value. They will sign it right here for me. You will see it like practically on a debug mode. So we will do the debug. So you could but before we do that, that would be a good idea to check that one if it's not empty. If it's empty, we will skip it. Always check the length. What I will do, I will use the F. Let's do F, then NF. I will check the position of ampersand because this is the number. If it's bigger than 0, you could say that. This would be 8, 10, 12 or whatever, 14. If it's bigger than 0, do that. For some reason, sometimes do not work right. So what I will do, let me save that one and close and reopen it. We use the if condition and check if it's, then what you will do, then let me move that one up on I'm gonna set this one to if condition. If it's not empty, then we do that one. This one, use Control Shift F. They will reformat it for you. You see, looking nice now. Use Control Shift F. That will reformat it for you. So what they will do, we check first is not empty, and also I'm not sure about this one. The link is bigger than 0. If is usually it coming as a null. We also check if it's not null. If this work fine, it's fine. Otherwise, we will change it. But you could use the else condition too if you like else if it's not. Then what you wanna do? Let's sign it back to the JSON data. This data. You could do a different condition. And if it's 0, then we sign it back. So that was the ampersand, and we get a key value pair. Let's do same thing to a position of equal sign. I'm gonna get set and bring it right here and replace the equal position. So we're gonna look on a key value pair. We get that one because we don't want to look it on all the stuff, because this one we replace it up to 1 all the way to right here. We will look position of this one, equal sign on this one. So instead of string, we will replace it with that one, and also replace the equal sign right here with the ampersand. We're not gonna send it, we're gonna say find this one position of equal on this string that we just get at key value pair. So when we find out what we don't want to do on that, so we're gonna replace it key right now, because we find a position of the equal sign, we find a position of ampersand, we remove the key value pair. Now we want to separate it to a key. Let's declare a key and value, and we could do it directly right here. Character, you could use it. There's a good practicing. Let's do it right here. Substring, you use. So again, substring work kind of like you could use a different way, but this is a 120. That was substring. They will remove that much data and place it for you. And again, we're gonna do key value pair. This time you find it from because this is the key. Key is the name. A name start from a 1. From a 1 all to equal. So say look for the from a 1 all the way to equal position. The equal position, I don't know why I put it right here. Let's put it up because equal position we will find it. So what I'm telling them, for example, let's cut this one up to right here. We cut this one that much data to this key value string, which has this is a key and this is the value. What I will do is say we find a position. I say find it from 1, which is this position 1, up to equal position to this position, and put it to a key that become our key. Then right now we will do the equal sign. Let's do the equal sign right now. I mean the value sign, not the equal sign. So we're gonna do the value. Declare a value, and this time we will start it from a we will get it from equal position all the way end. Let's say on that one we will start it from let's do it start it from an equal position plus 1. What it's telling them, say go right here, find the equal position. When it find equal position, we take everything up to right here. That's why plus 1 we will give them. So we just did like first time we just get the key and sign it right here from 1 to equal position. Second one we tell them take that much data from a equal position plus 1 that much data, and from right here and put it to value, which is after right here is everything right here value. So the key would be right here, the value is right here. So since we separated right now, we will use the case. If you're familiar with the switch statement on the case and when, then let's pick the simplest one so you not get confused. Case, we will check the key. Say if is key equal to whatever, you could say ID or name. Let's so make sure whatever is coming right here had to be the key value. If is name first is name, if is equal to name, we will sign it to a name. We will sign the ID to a name. So what we gonna do? We sign the value of if is, because this name is a reserved keyword. If it's reserved keyword, use the double quotation. So otherwise will not work. Say you could use it on a same line, or you move it right here and say set, and this one if it work fine, if it does not work, if it's reserved keyword, use double quotation. So we're gonna set the value. Which value? The value we just get it right here. We check the key. What is the key? If it's name, then we sign the value, and we will keep doing that till we finish it. We use the another there's a one condition. Let's use everything on a same line, so that way you not get confused. One is name, then do what? Set the value to this same variable that we declared right here. If you remember, we declare many. You see this name to that one value, we will assign to that one. Let's repeat that one. How many time value is coming? Let's Control Shift F. You see, just use the Control Shift F and Control Shift F. Let's use it. Okay, now we will keep changing it. The second is, this is the name, the second is the last name, and the second is the last name. We're gonna put it to a last name, the value. And the third one is the order does not matter right here because they will check for us. And what is name, last name, and address. And we will put it address. If you see address, this is our variable, don't get confused. And that one is coming from on a key value pair as well. And address is gone. So the address and street, this is the address, they put a plus sign on it, and that's the street, I think. Okay, probably nothing is coming. Let's check. This is the pizza name. We will check how the pizza name come, not get confused. And address, this is a city and a zip code. Okay, city. Use the city. Use the city value. And what we do, let's copy that one. We move it near to us. So city, up to city is gone. Next is a zip code. Zip code is coming like this. Zip code, let's go for the zip code. And there's a code number. And expire is coming. Expire date, and let's add everything. Let's add 3 in case. So expire, we're gonna change the expire. What CVS file? CVS file. See. Oh, what happened? Because make sure you take that value because the ID says like that. CVV. And one more thing, I was looking for pizza name string, JSON string, which is not coming for some reason. Name, come the name value. We will check our why is not coming. Our pizza name, and see the pizza name is not coming, starting from a name. Let's check our website. If we check the pizza, we did not add it right here. You see, we didn't. We started with name. What we did, we gonna add it, pizza, and the price. When we put the ID is important. What we gonna do, the pizza, and we gonna get the value from pizza, and the price is a price. Make sure and price. Duplicate is not allowed, that's why it's complaining. Now this is fine. Let's add it right here as well. We're gonna add pizza, and we're gonna add price and name, price. Now what comes? Let's copy the data, whatever come data right here as well. Go back to our code. We're gonna add and price as well. We will resend it, you will see it. So what I will do, name, last name, let's do it by order, but doesn't matter, you could add it right here, but let's do it with the order. I'm gonna pick pizza, and the value is pizza name. One more value, we're gonna get a price and add it to a price, and let's look for the variable. Say okay, price, Control Shift F. Okay, now it's fine. You could add default cases, up to you. You could add else as well and break it up, but I don't want to do. Since we add all the data right here, like whatever it is, they will put a value right here. But one more thing, it is good always, you see the value, just clean it up. Let me clean up and come back, you will see it. Because the mapping you do, make sure you clean up, that way you look you're a good developer. So you see, you look nice right now. So just clean up is fine, always fine. Right now what we do, we want to remove that much from it, because we don't want to repeat it again. That much we want to remove it, and doing same thing to that. How should we remove that much? We use the substring as well. We will swipe it up. So we're gonna resign this what do you call JSON string. We will resign it with a substring and remove that much from it. So we will say remove from where? From amber position. The ampersand position, we give it ampersand position. That would be whatever position plus 1. From this part, take it, like whatever is from this part. Let's say this is the data. From right here all the way, move on position to right here. Then after that, whatever it is, take it and keep doing that till it become null or 0. So let's remove that one. No, leave it like we're not gonna confuse. So what is the problem? The problem is I don't know why I didn't put the one. Okay, let's redeploy and see that much code. So then we're gonna move on to our next. So redeploy, let me deploy, and so I deploy it. Listen this data and see how it's gonna work. Hopefully there's no mistake. Okay, we declare the log ID. If you check the log ID, you see the big ID, they sign it, and we didn't do anything on this too, but just we declare it. You will see it why I'm doing that. And again the JSON string, you see now we start from a pizza and price and everything. So let's move on and check if it's not empty. It's not empty, so we're gonna find a position of amber sign. See, amber sign is on a 16 position, and we will find, we're gonna get a value, check the key value. We're gonna first check it. If it's not empty, it's not, then we're gonna get a value. Key value, you see where all the data is right here now. If you check right here, key value string, you see it take pizza and the value. This is the key and value. They get it right here. Let's find out the equal position. Let's run it and check the equal position on a 6, and we will get the key first. If you check the key, see, only get it key after value. You're gonna -1, I believe -1. We need to -1 it. You see, we will fix that, and we will check the key, and we didn't find the key because the key has a, what do you call, if you check the key has a equal, so that's why it cannot match with the name. So we're gonna complete that one. Let's fix that one and come back. So we're gonna say -1, so that's why we don't want an equal sign with it. Let's deploy and check. Let's send it again. Okay, and let's get into, we were on the equal position. I turned that one also to the, it is not null. Check that if it's not null. If it's not null, which is not null, and we get into, because before it gave me infinity blue for some reason. Let's find a position of that, and let's get the key and see how the key is right now. The key now is only pizza, you see, pizza, which is fine. You look, we will use the case if it's pizza, which is pizza, and we will assign a value to a pizza, to a pizza name right here. There's no value right now. Now if you check a pizza name or something, you see, pizza, key value name, where's the pizza, we gave them value, you see, John Pizza was John Pizza, the value is right here now. So, and keep doing that. So what I did, the second one, if you check your JSON string, it removed the pizza. Now move to a price, because right here we reassign the JSON from position of the ampersand. We got it, and we keep doing that. So let's do it until it finish. I'm gonna go all the way right here. Let me move it to the, let's send one more, patching or not. So let's do the rest of the code to it, because it worked fine. We're gonna create the output right now. Go right. So let's create the output. Since we get all the data, now we're creating the output. We will see it, why that caused the issue. So since I want to send this data to the microservices, all this data, so that's why I want to create it, or send it to the or save it to anywhere and give the replay back. Let's create as a last child, create a last child of, you give, because we're creating output message right now, and I want to create it as a JSON, because the REST service I want to create and I want to talk with a JSON or other one. That's why I'm using it, JSON. Let me declare the output reference out put ref. You could give any name, but I kind of like this kind of name, output reference to, because when you give a reference, the kind of you signing the location of, and this one right here, JSON. When we do that, we will check if it's not empty. Like you could check the ID or something. Let's use that. You use the if I will say name. You see, name is not null or something, not null, because if it's null, then if it's empty, you could check the empty. Let me set the first. I'm gonna set the first one, then I'm gonna set all of them and come back, because that way I save some time. The first one is name. You could check reference dot. We gave them name and value from a name. I say name equal to value from name that we sign it. We sign a value right here and keep doing that till it finish. Let me complete that one and come back. I just map all the data, whatever data we clean up, and now I map it to the right one. We will send it outside, and if there's no data, we will send no data. And right here, one another thing, I just want to get the method, because for this time I already spent 1 hour on that. That's why I add a method on that. Method we getting from HTTP header, the one I was showing you for the x-origin.http-comment. If it's something like that that has a space, even like this, there's another one, we use a double quotation with it, so otherwise it would cause a exception. So what we do is go to input, HTTP input, and then go to the, we give a reference to this one, whatever data come plus URL, they will say get plus URL or whatever. Then we gonna clean up. I say get method, we use the substring, the method, whatever data was right here, we sign it right here. From 1 to 4 we sign it to our get method. Then we check if it's get, go to this label, say propagate to this label, simple as you say, propagate to this label. We provide this label name, the microservice name. You see this label name, make sure you provide the correct label to direct them to the right label. So, and also we check if it's post, let's replace it if it's post, because post we send it right here, and get we will send it somewhere else. So the post we will send it right here. We will create many more, we will bring some changes too. So almost this is the code. I will also put this code on GitHub, and also we will create each different what do you call it, the procedure for the mapping, so that way it wouldn't be on a one module. It shouldn't be like that. And also we're gonna create log4j, and data we will like step by step we're gonna create like monitor our application behavior. Like we gotta sign the log, and then we say the data we received, then we turn it to a JSON. We will log that data up to right here. So when it's not, we will put the exception why it's not safe. Like step by step we will work on. I'm gonna use log4j on a Java. So see you on the next video.